Now, if you're anything like me, Nickelodeon cartoons were a huge part of your childhood. But what if I tell you that they weren't as innocent as we remember? Tons of dark and disturbing theories have come out over the years, and some of these are about classic Nick cartoons that we love, and today we're going to talk about them. Everyone who knows the Wild Thornberrys knows the story. A strange family that travels to the wildest areas of the world in search of rare animals and broadcasting their finds. And then there's their daughter Eliza, who's gifted with the ability to talk to animals, which leads to her own adventures in the wild. Alright, in case you didn't know, we're actually going to go over the family members first. Nigel Archibald Thornberry, who's the father of the group. He's usually the one that's interacting with the animals and getting into some sort of trouble that his wife either warns him about or tries to prevent him getting into.
Not to worry, I'm perfectly...
Mary Ann Hunter Thornberry, who's the mother. She's Nigel's cameraman or camerawoman. Basically, she edits.
Everyone fell asleep during my highlight reel. They're not going to this year because I've got polar bears.
She does all the disciplinary stuff, basically because the dad is just too into his hobbies and the wife kind of takes care of shit, you know what I mean? Deborah or Debbie Thornberry, she's the oldest daughter. She's kind of the goth one, usually laid back and withdrawn into fashion and music. Although she can be whiny and definitely is kind of bitchy, I ain't gonna lie. Eliza, basically she's the youngest child to the Thornberrys. She inherited her mother's smarts and her father's knack for adventure and danger. So usually she's going on her own adventures basically with her pet monkey Darwin. Donnie Michael Thornberry, who is assumed to be the missing link between animals and man, basically. He's kind of this wild, crazy thing. He's got the dreads. He's fresh, dude. He's literally the freshest one, but he's super crazy. Now we're going to get into the actual theory. I'd like to give credit to this theory to Scantly Pleasant on storywrite.com, who as far as I can tell is the originator of this theory that I'll be explaining. So Nigel Thornberry, who hails from a family of aristocrats, is brilliant with animals and bad with everything else.
I don't want to alarm you, dearest, but I'm afraid I've lost the sight in my eye.
Move your hand, Nigel.
What a woman.
Nigel is indeed autistic. It is why his behavior is so sporadic. His family raised him as properly as they could, finding joy in his offer to be a professor at Oxford, but Nigel could not handle the pace of the school and opted out to just travel and do what he loves.
I know. We must disrobe completely.
Now, his moods and knacks for danger cause him to withdraw from his children. This is why they are usually left alone at the RV, and his wife is going with him to make sure that he's basically good. Being the only sane one, she is torn between doing what is right by the man that she fell in love with and doing right by her actual children. Now, Debbie, being the oldest, is used to being left alone and passes her time listening to her music, looking at magazines, and smoking weed, apparently, according to this. It is why her hair is usually covering her face. She's only sober when her mother is around or is when Eliza is in trouble, but she prefers to just basically stay alone for the most part. So this theory is alleging that Debbie is like a super stoner, which thinking back on the show now, I guess I could kind of see that, you know what I mean? She's like a teenager. She's kind of like got that punk aesthetic, you know what I mean? She's covering her hair with her, she's covering her eye with her hair. She's got like mad long hair. She got the flannel on. So I could definitely see this being like, you know what I mean, somewhat believable. But when she is sober, she is more moody and sporadic, usually angry that her high has been ruined or that she has to yet again fix something that somebody else has messed up. Though in these moments of clarity, she does show true love for her family, which is always nice. Now, Eliza, still young, is trying to cope with her family the best way she knows how, by traveling and finding animals for them so that they can possibly spend more time together. And basically her travels took her upon a witch doctor who gave her something akin to ecstasy, apparently. Her hallucinations caused her to believe that she can talk to animals, when the truth is that she's simply feeling the side effects of the drug. Now, her need to explore remained the same, but she took the drug in order to keep her gift, which is the talking to animals thing. Apparently, that's from her just tripping balls. So, I don't know. I don't remember that episode. Maybe. I don't know. You know what I mean? I like the beginning of the theory, but you know what I mean? We're getting into it. Now, Darwin is a chimpanzee that Eliza first talked to, giving him the name of somebody that she thinks her father would approve of in order to further win his favor. Now, the chimpanzee is forever grateful to Eliza and follows her everywhere, usually trying to basically talking her out of dangerous situations. And this is Eliza's conscious basically speaking through the monkey while on her trips from the ecstasy. Because Eliza knows of her father's condition and the only reason her mother leaves is to make sure that he's okay, it is actually his voice she hears in her head explaining why Darwin has a posh British accent, because it's supposed to be her dad. Now, Donnie is a child found in the wild whose parents had been murdered by poachers. Such a traumatic experience has stolen his sanity, and thus he behaves like an animal. Having lived and being raised in the jungle with no human contact, the Thornberrys feel sorry for him, but none more so than Nigel, who sees a bit of himself in the boy in the way that he is lost in his own mind.
That's the idea, Donnie. See that? I always said the boy was sharp as a tack.
So apparently, basically Nigel relates to Donnie because he kind of sees himself in Donnie because they're both fucking mentally unstable, I guess. I don't know. This is kind of getting lost a little bit. So the creator also has a piece explaining the collaboration with Rugrats for the movie Rugrats Gone Wild. Now, on one of their many adventures, the Thornberrys actually end up running into the Pickles and the rest of the families. And from the Rugrats Theory, which if you haven't actually heard of the Rugrats Theory before, I've already done a video on it, so I'll link that somewhere up here. Basically, the gist is the babies don't really exist. Alright, so basically you have to kind of know that theory to understand this one apparently, but let's get into it. The Rugrats go on a cruise to get away from their everyday lives, the dramas, everything, trying desperately just to be normal for a day. You know what I mean? They're going on vacation, they're trying to get away from all the regular Rugrats shit, alright? Clearly it doesn't help. So it starts with Eliza bumping into Spike, who can now talk and is informed that he is looking for his babies, in which she ends up helping him against Darwin's better judgment. Now, Spike is indeed looking for Angelica, Dill, and Susie, who only came to support her friend Angelica, but not being able to smell them as he normally would because of his constant sneezing at the time, alright?
But I can smell! I might as well not even call myself a dog!
Now, meanwhile, Angelica finds Debbie, and Debbie instantly recognizes the girl as one who is gravely damaged, alright? She can obviously tell something's a little off with this one, you feel me? Now, it is during this time that Angelica is not on drugs and thus the babies are not present, okay? So it's just Angelica and them, explaining why Eliza, Spike, and Darwin can't end up finding them. Now, Angelica proceeds to talk about the dumb babies and how she is better off without them, having Cynthia, who's the doll that represents her mother, which if you know the theory, you know. But without the babies, she becomes lonely and convinces Debbie to help her save them. Now, the babies are not seen by Eliza, but by a concussion induced by Nigel Thornberry. The babies follow him and he never really acknowledges them at all. Even when trapped in the submarine, he talks to Angelica, Dill, and Susie. Alright, none of the babies. And apparently this is how it all links together with them all being crazy. I don't know, man. This theory is different. I like the beginning of it a lot. Like I could see where the Debbie is kind of like, you know what I mean, a stoner. I could see where Eliza might be schizophrenic. I don't know if she's like tripping off ecstasy, but you feel me? Maybe schizophrenic or something. I don't know. I like that they tried to tie it in with the Rugrats theory too, but anyways, I don't know how much I'm believing this theory. Like I said, if you like any other theories, I'm gonna link the Rugrats one up above. And yeah, no hate to the original creator, obviously. I mean, this was created like I think 7 years ago, something like that. But anyways, yeah, it's interesting. Anyways, if there's any other cartoon theories you want me to talk about, let me know down below. If you haven't checked out the other ones, then do that. Yeah, like, subscribe, all the YouTube shit. And other than that, stay safe, get laid. I'll see you soon. This is